Othering Podcast explores the world of marginalized communities with a focus on the disabled and LGBTQ+. In our discussions, we will provide a platform for our guests to advocate and share their stories. By delving deep into their difficulties and successes, we will explore the changes necessary to improve lives everywhere. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the Othering Podcast with Mike and Dory.
PEP Radio, part of the Pennsylvania Equality Project, advocates for the rights of LGBTQ+ people, the disabled, and marginalized communities. We play music from all 7 continents from 1928 through 2025 in English, Spanish, German, African tribal languages, Korean, and Japanese. We also offer news, history lessons, and are proud to include the Othering Podcast in our programming lineup. Tune in on the Live 365 app, Roku, and Alexa every Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Great. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Excited to chat with y'all.
Okay, today we are talking to Charlie. He is the founder and CEO of Everywhere is Queer. Everywhere is Queer is a public resource for the LGBTQ+ community to find queer-owned spaces to shop, connect, eat, learn, and grow all over the world. The goal of Everything is Queer is to connect Everywhere is Queer is to connect queer-owned businesses to people who need them the most, like you. Welcome, Charlie.
Yes, welcome.
It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I read the About section on your website, and the way that you came about this business I thought was kind of fascinating. Can you kind of walk us through that process of coming about the business?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm originally from rural Wisconsin, so small town, Catholic, conservative raised kiddo. I went to university in Colorado, and my first job out of school was I was a rep for an organic beverage company, and I went to 41 of the 50 states on a road trip. And I had recently come out in 2017, 2018. And so when I hit the road, I was constantly seeking queer spaces, and there wasn't a resource to connect me with those queer spaces when I was traveling all over. So that kind of seeded the idea. And then later on, pandemic hits 2021, I go to Brave Trails, which is a queer youth leadership camp for 12 to 18-year-old youth. And just being in a space of 100 queer people was so euphoric. And coming out of Brave Trails, which was in LA, I lived in Colorado at the time. And on my 18-hour road trip, I thought of this idea of connecting the queer, trans, and ally community to safer spaces via queer-owned organization. And I Googled, and I didn't see that this existed. And so I headed to my computer, and about 6 months later, January 2022, I just launched a very Google Excel doc that was an overlay on my maps of a worldwide map of queer-owned businesses. It was nothing fancy. It was Canva designed pins. And I'm grateful to share that we now have a free app on iOS and Android called Everywhere is Queer, available globally with over 19,000 queer-owned businesses listed.
That's awesome, and definitely something we needed.
Yes, because so many places you don't always get the right vibes. And
Correct.
you want, when you're spending your money or just spending your time somewhere, you want to feel comfortable. You want to feel like you can belong and, talk and be yourself. And it's so much better when you know that they will accept you than when maybe they will, maybe they won't.
So that road trip going to 41 states, that had to have been quite an experience.
Yes.
That had to be pretty awesome to begin with. When you were, well, I guess this is separate. That was a road trip for a different job. But when you were doing the scouting for the different queer-owned businesses and stuff, and I've seen on your Instagram you go talk to these businesses. That has to be pretty awesome, and I'll tell you a story I've done similar in a different aspect later, but can you kind of talk about that, meeting all these people and all these businesses?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, I've built this resource, and I've now been to 47 of the 50 states. And I wish I could go do this whole road trip job again, knowing that I have this resource now. but I still travel a lot, and everywhere I go, obviously, I'm trying to find queer-owned businesses. I mean, I use my app and I'm able to find them.
Hmm.
But I just went home to rural Wisconsin, and there was a crystal stones retail shop on the platform, and I went and popped in, and they were so excited to meet me. And yeah, anytime I'm traveling, I'm trying to connect with organizations wherever I am, and it's so cool to hear all the stories. And I feel like it's the same thing. Like they all want to know more queer-owned businesses in their area so they can support each other. And
Yep.
Hmm.
um, I just love to see the connections that are made. We've had like drag queens find restaurants to throw drag shows at, and venues to do a whole bunch of stuff has come out of our app. But I've had a lesbian couple reach out and they were like, we just planned a road trip across the United States, only going to Everywhere's queer organization,
Wow.
So I'm just glad to see people getting after it and all these queer-owned businesses being discovered.
Hmm.
Yeah, because a lot of times you don't always notice that they're queer owned or
Hmm.
and it's kind of nice that you have that out there so that you know where you're sending your dollars to is
Yep.
somebody worthy of that as opposed to just
Yes.
kind of throwing it out there in the ether and hoping that they're good people
Yes.
or something.
Exactly.
And
I have a sandwich shop here in Portland, Oregon, where I live, and Mel, the owner, said they're just a regular sandwich, Chicago style sandwich shop. And she said the moment that we listed ourselves on Everywhere is Queer was suddenly all these queer people were starting to eat at my sandwich shop, which would like really wasn't the crowd before. And she was like, as a queer person, it's absolutely amazing to seeing all these queer people come through my door.
that's really awesome. Have you gotten any bad feedback in your process of searching, getting people that were kind of mean about it?
No, I have received so minimal hate.
Good.
Good.
I'm a
Good.
very public figure on social media,
Hmm.
and I say with the truest of my heart that I have not received a lot of hate, knock on wood, and I just want to keep
Well,
moving in
I'm
that
glad.
Yeah,
direction.
that's great to hear.
I'm very glad about
Because
that.
we've had some interviews on this podcast where like parents and stuff did not receive it well when their child came out. So
Yeah.
Yep.
it's good to
Yeah.
hear that there are good people out there.
Yes.
Yeah, there are.
Well, they always say look for the helpers, and I would say that you are definitely one of the biggest helpers out there to kind of
Thanks.
help us keep going, and
Yeah.
being able to have the community so that we know, okay, I'm not alone. I know I can safely go here. Let's band
Hmm.
together and create things.
Hmm.
Actually, we were looking at the app earlier today, and we found like what, two or three
Tattoo shops.
tattoo shops because I'm
Hmm.
kind of addicted to tattoos.
Yes, I love it. I love
I
it.
I currently have 17 and I've got like another 20 planned and
Amazing.
and it was really awesome to look at that and say, "Oh, wow, there's people here that are a part of that." And it felt really good.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Tattoo shop, tattoo artist is a big category for us. Hair salons are the other closest one. That's a big one. We've got 26 different categories for folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you find some.
When I was looking through the categories, I noticed the arts. Like everyone was around
Mhm.
400 or 500, then arts was almost like 2,000,
Yep. Yep.
and
It's
that
kind of,
seems
yeah.
fitting.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Have you had like any, like when you're going to these places, have any of them actually said, "No, I don't want to be on the app"? Or, and like, I guess,
Yeah.
like, have they given you any reasons as to why they wouldn't? Or are they afraid and worried?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, since this current administration, I have had like a handful, so not that many, be like, can you please remove us from this platform? And I'm like, absolutely. I'll share. All 19,000 plus organizations have all applied themselves. So I only approve, I do not add without their consent.
Okay.
We also allow organizations, online organizations, to join our platform, and you don't have to put a physical address.
Hmm.
You can put just Portland, Oregon, that you're a queer owned business here in Portland, Oregon, as a way to mitigate, any hate or, physical like to their space.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're a brick and mortar spot, you're already you Google, people can find you on Google, like
Yes.
Right.
it's not like So, I mean, of course, I've had people be like, why does this have to exist? And I'm like, well, I want you to challenge why you're asking that question.
Yes.
Like there are millions of people who do not feel safe navigating throughout our worlds, as an out queer trans person, and that's just how it is right now. Of course, I don't want our resource to have to exist, but
Right.
at the end of the day, it does.
Yeah.
And as you can see, millions of people have used our app and platform. There are millions of more people that should know about it that they don't even know it exists. So for you all, I mean, thank you for having me on. And everywhere is queer it's you all. It's people who are part of the community. It is not just
Right.
me. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a collective. This is a movement. And I mean, we wouldn't be this big if other people didn't say like, tell queer-owned businesses, hey, this exists. You should apply.
Yes.
So if you're listening and you know of queer-owned businesses, please tell them to apply. They'll apply via the profile tab of our app.
And I second that, and I encourage people to,
For
you
sure.
know, add their names to it if they're a
Hmm.
business, because the more that
Hmm.
we know, the better a community is.
Yeah,
And,
100%.
we want, unfortunately, we live in a time where we have to kind of put ourselves out there and show that we're safe, that we're together in all of this, instead of being able to just kind of be like, yeah, you just happen to be queer, cool, and then go
Yeah,
on with your merry way.
Yeah.
And
totally.
the fact that we have these apps that we can now go to, so I think it makes it a huge,
It gives
like,
everyone a chance to feel like
well,
they're normal.
yeah,
You
and
don't stand out because you have to find
Yeah,
something special. You're just looking at a
exactly.
map.
well,
Yeah.
I was thinking in terms of like at how awesome it is that we have it now, and at how I feel bad that we didn't have it before,
Hmm.
before this time, because I think it would have
Hmm.
been really awesome even in like the
Yeah.
70s. I'm not old enough to have been doing anything
Yeah.
in the 70s, but it would have been awesome back then, and just
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
love your pioneering idea, and
Thank you.
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
I mean, and we're not the first to create a community resource that provides safer spaces. I mean, this is beyond inspired by resources like the Green Book that used to exist,
Hmm.
to help Black folks find safer spaces wherever they were. I mean, yeah, so I would never claim that we're like the first community resource to provide safer spaces. We are definitely like so inspired by so many things that were happened before us. Um, thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you mind if I asked a little bit about your personal story?
Absolutely. Yeah,
You
yeah.
said you came out, and did you say 2017? Is that right?
Yeah, 2017, 2018. Yeah, it was kind of
How,
like a, coming out process. You tell people, some other people.
right. Was that fairly well accepted? Did you go through struggles?
Yeah, my family was a little slow in the acceptance part, but I mean, they didn't excommunicate me. They said like, we
Good.
love you, but it's been a slow, but I'm proud to say that I am grateful that my immediate family is very supportive of me and Everywhere is Queer. And, going to school in Colorado, I had liberal friends for the first time. Like I didn't even know that parents could be liberal. Like I think I knew three liberal adults in my entire growing up experience. And
Wow.
one of those was an aunt that I had, like and I had 30, almost 30 cousins, and no liberal aunts, uncles, cousins, when growing up. They now a lot of us cousins are, but so I mean, my home community, it's been a little bit of a challenge. My immediate family is would identify with all liberal now, and I'm grateful for that. But my liberal friends in school and college, I mean, they were like, I was like, I think I'm gay, and they were like, cool, like they didn't really care, like they were like, sweet. And I just was like, I still couldn't fathom like a liberal mindset of just like an open heart and open mind to queer people. Like, so not what I was raised with.
Right.
So it's been a journey of self-acceptance, for
Yeah.
myself. And now I think it's hilarious that I am a little bit of this public figure with this business, and I'm like, well, now I'm all unapologetically, if you Google my name, it is very much integrated with who I am. So,
And
um,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and I think it's awesome that, you know, you were loved and accepted. And
Yeah.
it kind of sucks that it takes a little bit of time, but it's nice that they came around because
Yeah.
unfortunately we talked to so many people who, like, just were totally ignored or kicked out, or,
So sad.
and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that angers me and upsets me, but I'm so thrilled that you didn't have that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And, if people need anybody, we're here. We're
Yeah.
happily
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, and I urge people, whether everywhere is queer owned organizations, these are queer people that exist within your community. And I want it to go beyond just like, oh, I found a retail store. It's like, I don't know, that business owner is queer. They have a queer community. Reach out to them. See how you can get to know them more personally if you're seeking queer community. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we want to build in an events board into our app, which is going to connect you with queer events happening. We're going to be folding in a queer healthcare directory to help
Oh,
you
wow.
connect with queer affirming healthcare providers. We have
That's great.
literally a list of 15 things that we want to build into our app to connect the queer community, queer, trans, and ally community with people that just see us as our most authentic selves. We have a job board currently in app to connect you with queer owned or ally owned organizations. We do allow ally owned businesses to post jobs to our community. We don't allow them to be listed on our map section of our app,
Okay.
but we do allow them to post jobs to our community. So we're working to connect, anyone that has never felt loved or, was not chosen by their biological family. There are millions of us that see you and
Yes,
love you and want to bring you into our communities.
Yep.
definitely. Like I said, we're here. So, reach out,
Yeah.
anybody,
Yeah.
and we'll help you whatever we can. And
Yeah.
I have to say that out of all the different communities that I've been in, like we've gone and done paranormal,
Paranormal.
and
Hmm.
they're odd. Let me just say that, but they're
Hmm.
great people.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of drama.
but yeah, a lot of drama. And then like, I've tried other different groups. I've gone in and out of different groups, and then of course the typical groups that you have in high school and college. And
Hmm.
out of all of those people, I would say that you, LGBTQ people plus,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
disabled people have been the most absolutely wonderful, welcoming, best people
Hmm.
ever I have ever met. And
Hmm. Hmm.
I just, I love it how open and just incredibly sweet you people are. And I mean, open to me,
Yeah,
because
I
like,
agree.
I
Yeah.
didn't find out I was bisexual until I was 47. I'm still 47.
Okay.
And it was kind of like one of those shocking things to me. Like,
Hmm.
it was in the back of my mind, but I never thought about it. And then it was like I was
Hmm.
talking, and I was just like, you know what? Well, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for you, was it kind of like a well, shit moment? Or was it kind of like, just you've always known, you just didn't voice it?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like the stereotypical gay kid. And was it like welcomed? No. Was it supported as it? No. I was like, I wanted to play with the Barbie dolls, and like I was like trucks were pushed in front of me to be like, no, you can't play with the Barbies. Like you only can play with Ken. And I was like, well, that's ironic that you only gave me Ken, you know? Um, and yeah, I mean, so for me, it was suppressed my entire childhood up until my 2017, 2018 is like I was 21. And I finally was like, I just have to let this out. Like, it just was like I felt like I had the 10,000 pound weight on my chest. And when I
Mm-hmm.
was able to just like say I am gay, like I still get chills thinking about like how hard it was for me to come to that term
Mm-hmm.
and like confidently say it. Like I knew I was gay, but I couldn't like saying I was gay felt so hard. And yeah, I mean, it was a slow burn of me being like unapologetically gay or queer. I love the word queer. It feels all inclusive. I
Yep.
I would
Mm-hmm.
say, yeah, whatever. I say I'm gay, I'm queer, like those go hand in hand for me. And yeah, I mean, so I feel like I've always known, but it was suppressed for so
Yeah,
long. So it wasn't like an oh shit moment. It was like, I'm not surprised. I'm coming to terms with this.
gotcha. Yeah, no,
Um,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because, like, it was just, I think it was partially because I recently discovered all of these things, but that
Hmm.
I was autistic and ADHD, so I
Hmm.
never really
Hmm.
thought anything of it. I was just like, she's got an awesome body and it's gorgeous. Okay. And then I'd, go on and do something else.
Yeah, yeah,
And
totally.
I felt a huge relief, though, admitting it to
Yeah,
myself and realizing it.
yeah,
And like, it was kind of like opening my eyes for the first time, almost like
yeah,
being reborn in a
yeah,
way. And
yeah.
Freedom.
yeah, a freedom of just like,
Freedom. I
holy,
totally agree. Yeah.
like, wow, this is who I really am. And it's like, where have I been this whole time? And it's just, it's awesome to feel. And I want more people to feel that way,
Me
personally.
too. Yeah.
Did you struggle in your younger years in school with friendships and
Yeah.
stuff?
100%. I mean, I own this and it breaks my heart today, but I mean, it's funny. I'll share a story, but I believe I was the class bully. I wasn't nice. I mean, I think mean people hurt mean people. I mean, mean people can be mean, or
Hmm.
sorry, hurt people can be mean.
Right.
Yes.
And I was so lost as a kid, so incredibly lost, and I had no emotional bandwidth. Like it just all came out in anger and in mean ways. And I had someone from my grade school message me from, I had like a viral TikTok, and they messaged me and they said like, "Hey Charlie, I can't believe what you're doing. I want to apologize for bullying you as a kid." And I got their message, and I'm still perplexed because I'm like, I thought I bullied you. And so I am doing like a little bit of self-reflection of like, was I the class bully, or am I just trying, like that's kind of what I remember. Like I don't think I was the nicest kid,
Hmm.
but I do think that like we as kids, we're just so lost, and
Yes.
Yeah.
We
not
definitely,
everyone, but yeah.
I think
Uh,
all of us are lost. Whether or not we are bullied or are the bully is, here and there. But I think so much is put onto us to know what we want to do and
Yeah.
already know who we are and,
Yeah.
go into high school already knowing which college and which degree and all of this stuff from
Like
such an
what?
early age.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's impossible to know these things. And then when you go through all of that, you kind of like have to hide bits and pieces of yourself because
Yeah.
you can't really, talk to people because not because you can't talk to them, but because you're terrified of talking to them.
I was bullied heavily in school throughout all of high
Yeah.
school, grade
Sorry
school,
to hear
all of
that.
it. And it
Yeah.
really fucked me up for a long time. Like I was very
Yeah.
quiet for most of my life. Still kind of am.
Yeah.
If you listen to podcast episodes, you'll hear that. She does all the talking.
Yes.
But
Well, that's because I'm a talker.
it's because I
Me
was
too.
I was taught that the more I talk, the more I get made fun of. The more I talk, the
Hmm.
more I do something wrong. So I was taught to shut
Hmm.
up. And it's
Hmm.
kind of sad that it comes to that, but
Yeah.
I can imagine in your experience too. It's hard to come out at that point when you've been through such rough childhood.
And
Yeah. I mean, my voice is higher. I have come I mean, people have told me every single day of my life, like, and it was what I was made fun of most for as a kid. And it's, I've just it wasn't my choice.
Hmm.
I didn't get to pick what my voice sounds like,
no,
so,
I don't.
yeah, I'm sorry that you were bullied. I mean, it's horrible.
It
It's
is.
horrible.
I don't
Wish it didn't come to
understand that because your voice sounds fine to me. I mean,
me.
it sounds
Thank you.
perfectly fine. I think it's actually quite
Thank you.
soothing. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's just
I really appreciate it.
it. I don't. I don't understand the
People.
pressure that we get put on us and that we put ourselves under a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's not even, our family saying, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. It's just you look at the magazines or you read the books and everybody's got it figured out. So you're like,
Hmm.
oh, well, I have to do that too.
Hmm.
And those pressures kind of manifest in bullying or being bullied. And,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's worse than that. And I hate that too. But
Yep.
in general, though, I think it's a lot of the pressure that we put ourselves in to, fit in. And it's
Mm-hmm.
nice that we don't have to quite worry so much about it now. And because being LGBTQ plus, we just do.
Mm-hmm.
We if you're purple haired or you like
Mm-hmm.
your skin purple, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
we can be there. And
Mm-hmm.
nobody's going to be like, "Oh my god, get out." And that's
Exactly.
awesome, I think.
And that's exactly why I built Everywhere is Queer, is to allow our community to exist in spaces that see us as our most authentic self.
Yeah.
It's the
And
least we deserve.
it is.
It is.
And, if you are painting your skin purple, please use the right stuff. Don't, go and get latex paint and have to go to the doctor to get it removed.
Yeah.
So I had mentioned near the beginning of the episode that I had a story when we were talking about
Yeah,
your
please share.
travels. I've mentioned this before. I have a couple books published on the paranormal in Cincinnati, Ohio. As a part of
Mm-hmm.
that process, my brother and I traveled through Cincinnati, stopping at all these different haunted places and talking to the owners and the people that work there, getting their stories, getting the stories of the
Mm-hmm.
location, et cetera, et cetera. Got free tours, got some free like access to museums that aren't usually free, and it was one of the
Yeah.
best things I've ever done. Like, it was an awesome experience. I talked to like surveyors who found dead bodies. Just a really, really cool experience. I
Yeah.
would imagine in your process of finding all the locations for your map, you've kind of had the same experience.
100%. Yeah.
And
I mean, we have a queer welding group in Portland, Maine that I just think is like so cool. Like, I want to learn how to weld from queer and trans people,
Yes.
you know? People's inclusive welding is what they're called. But yeah, I mean, the vast variety of folks I have met and conversations I get to have on the day to day it's so cool. Yeah.
and
That sounds like a really interesting experience.
it
One
was.
that I don't want to be a part of because I like can't even watch a scary movie. Like I won't sleep for days. But that's just me. You
Yeah.
do you, you know. That sounds super interesting.
Like, there's a in Cincinnati, it's called Music Hall. It's a really cool looking building.
Yes.
It's where the Cincinnati Orchestra plays and everything. And we
Cool.
got the after close tour of the basement, which you probably
Okay.
wouldn't like based on what you just said. And
No,
it's just
I don't
really,
want to go
really
on
neat
that.
stuff to see that.
I love horror movies, but I don't like basements.
Yeah.
I really hate basements. I mean, I try not to even go in my own house's basement if I can help it. So
Yeah.
But when I was reading your story of going to the 41 states, which you explained was
Mhm.
for a different business, but I was just thinking
Yeah, yeah.
it had to have been kind of similar experience and getting to see things that a lot of people
Totally.
don't, meeting a lot of people don't get to
Yep.
meet.
which is
Yeah, I
awesome,
mean,
I think.
yeah, I've been to 47 of the 50 states now. I have Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Alaska left. My rule is sleeping one night in the state
Yep.
for it to count. Um, and yeah, I mean, I am, I don't know this episode, I don't know when this episode is going to come out, but this fall in October, I am doing a little cross country EIQ tour. Where we're going to do just stop at like 4 or 5 places. So it's not going to be this big grand tour, but looking at like Denver, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Chicago area, Philadelphia, and doing some in-person meetups because
Oh, that would be
a
awesome.
lot of
Yeah.
my work is just on the internet, social media, promoting my business and approving organizations and interviews like this all virtually. But I'm excited to meet more of the Everywhere is Queer community in person.
Well,
So
please let us
I don't know
know.
about Cincinnati, but yeah, if we're in the area,
Well,
'Cause
we are in Pennsylvania, just north of Philadelphia now.
Yeah,
oh,
so
We
there
moved
you
from
go.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah.
so please
Okay.
let us know when you're in the area because we would love to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, would love to meet y'all too.
And you mentioned being in 47 of the 50.
Mm-hmm.
Which have been your favorites to visit so far?
Mm-hmm. Portland, Maine, is such a special community. It feels like Portland, Oregon, but just like way smaller. And Portland, Oregon is our city with the most listed queer-owned businesses currently in the United States, well, and globally. Um, It's so queer here. I feel like Sims, if you were to like make a Sims city of all LGBTQIA plus people, and it would be Portland, Oregon.
That would be
Um,
awesome.
yeah, but Portland, Maine is just a tiny little Portland, which I just think the name is okay. So Portland, Maine is one of my favorites. Asheville, North Carolina is amazing. It's so beautiful. I had a lot of fun in Fishtown in Philadelphia, but then, I'm moving to New York City this fall, and I
Oh,
just
yeah.
think there's nothing like New York City.
Well, that's awesome too, because we're
Yeah.
not, we're
Yeah.
actually like an hour and a half out of New York City and about an
Yep.
hour and a half north of Philly. So,
Okay.
anytime you want to stop by or,
Oh,
want us
yeah,
to stop by,
please.
please let us know. Not
Yeah,
to
yeah.
invite myself, sorry. I can hear my
No,
mom
as you
saying, "You
should.
don't invite yourself over to people's houses."
Hey, invite yourself over and they'll say no if they want to say no. That's the
That's
life
true.
I,
There you
I
go.
like to live, you know?
Thank you. Ha, eat that, Mom. No, I'm kidding. Please don't, because she'll forget me for that.
I had a question right before you asked yours, and it completely went out of my head now.
Normally, we're not quite this, like, duh. We're
Oh,
just,
I understand. It's Monday, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, out of the, you mentioned that you like the welding place.
Yeah.
Have you done any welding yet?
No, I have not taken any welding classes, but what's funny is my father actually owns like a manufacturing he has employs like hundreds of welders. So it just always was an environment that I did not want to be a part of, and it still is. But if I could learn to weld, I think that would be so cool. My father would secretly be so proud of me. Um, but I just yeah, I mean, no, I've never learned to weld. Have you all welded before?
I have once, and I have to admit, it was really like, it kind of makes you want to beat your chest kind of
Yeah.
feeling. I found that like I wanted to go, be like Tim Allen beating the
Hmm.
chest and making that noise because it
Hmm.
was just so awesome to
Hmm.
do that. And
Hmm.
it's a different type of artwork. And
Hmm.
even if it's the, welding to put together a wheelchair or a desk, it's still a different type of artwork that's really cool. And
Hmm.
I loved it, actually.
I remembered my question.
Okay, go ahead.
You have a huge social media presence. Is that
Hmm.
something that came about with the business, or is that something you had going before the business?
Yeah, it's actually fully a business account. So it
Okay.
was completely built around Everywhere is Queer. I posted our logo. I laugh at myself. Absolutely no graphic design thought work. I just posted my logo with a white background on Instagram, January 2nd, 2022. But about 3 months in or so, I had a big interview with Now This.
Oh,
They're like
wow.
I feel like Vox Media,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and went out to like 90 million people. We laugh. They actually put me on the Now This women's channel. I'm not a woman at all. I don't identify as a woman. It's solely because my voice is higher. Some will say exposure is exposure, and it definitely helped elevate my business. I didn't want to take up space there. I did not say to post myself there. They just did that on their own. But it just makes me laugh. But yes, and then I had some viral videos of my own calling out to help us build a worldwide map of queer-owned organizations. I've spent very little dollars on marketing my platform. It's been solely social media and interviews like this. I mean, I'm so grateful for people like you all. We need, you know, an hour and a half north of Philly. Like, I know that there are queer people that exist.
Right.
Yes.
And so you all listening, like we need you to post in your Facebook groups, your family group chats, your friend group chats, your queer group chats. Like, please send our app. It's free on iOS and Android
Hmm.
around to your communities. There are millions of more people that should know about our platform.
Yes,
And
definitely.
it's
I-
super easy to set up the app. I downloaded it and
Yeah,
was ready and looking in like 3 minutes.
And
yeah,
I love it because you get to not only see where you are, but you can look and see, well, I'm traveling to, New York City. Is there some place I can go
Hmm.
there? And
yep,
there it is. And
yep.
I sound like a commercial and I apologize, but I just think it's that awesome.
It's probably what he wants.
Well, yeah.
This is not a paid ad. This is not a paid ad, everyone. It's not.
So were
No,
you
thanks.
You're welcome.
Were you, or are you, I guess you are now, but were you, I know you didn't have a large social media presence, but were you involved in the community before with LGBTQ on social media, or did you kind of stay away from
No.
it prior? No? Okay.
No, I think my first reel I ever made was for this business. I've kind of just like done this all my own. I've learned how to make reels and edit and stuff like that.
It's,
Yeah, it's been a completely learned skill.
yeah. I have
And
found social media
So
has been a difficult skill to learn.
it can
it
be.
is. It is.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how fast we're just growing because
Yeah.
what we started
Meh.
May and we've got like 850
Or over 800. Yeah.
ish people that
Amazing.
in that amount of time just on Instagram. And I mean, it's
Amazing.
nowhere near as much as amazing
No,
as your
yeah.
numbers, but
He's been around for 8 years.
yeah,
That helps.
that does help. But it's just, I'm amazed at how fast it can grow and it, just
Thank
word of mouth. And
Yeah.
I was so excited when you actually answered us because I was like thinking this person has thousands upon thousands.
Yeah.
He's not going to notice us. We're
Right.
podunk people. And again, you just prove at how wonderful you are because you
Thank you.
actually talk to us. And I just keep getting starstruck because
Thank you.
these you and a couple of other people we've talked to like have these huge massive followings, and the fact that you're willing to talk to us.
We just don't deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I need to be doing
The least deserved. Yeah.
Wayne's World and saying we're not worthy,
But it's nice.
Well, I mean, I truly genuinely believe that like we are all in this together, and you all have such an impact to make within your community. And I know that there are, again, so many queer people that exist around where you all are, but even your listenership isn't just where you are. And so, yeah, I mean, I love to hop on these interviews and chat with people just like y'all. I mean, I'm just a human.
Yes.
And it's nice to see that, because sometimes
Yeah.
when you're on social media and looking at these creators, you don't feel like they're human. It's almost like a celebrity type
Yep.
status that they put out there,
Yep.
and they're untouchable.
Yep.
So
Yep.
to be able to talk to people like you and to see that, and we knew this, of course, but to kind of get that human, to see that you're human and you're normal and you're
Yep.
reachable, and it makes everything a lot more welcoming and much more pleasant to be around.
And it makes, I think, what we're all doing, by showing up and doing all of these videos and your app and all that stuff makes it even, I would say, 100,000 times better because we're able to show our human sides.
Yep, I completely agree. Yeah, thanks for your kindness. I mean, thanks for the work that you all are doing. It's so important. I mean, every single listener. I mean, it's so important.
Thank you.
We're trying.
Yeah. And
Our goal
We
is to
all
make
are. I mean,
our,
this has
our
been
goal is to make a
the-
difference,
yeah.
just like yours.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
and
It's been the hardest thing I've done, I've had my highs and lows. I'm a Sagittarius, Cancer, so I cry a lot.
okay. I can't tell you how many times I've cried so far on this podcast, and I'm not a crier, amazingly. Like, I grew up kind of like one of those stoic type of people where I could watch somebody die in a movie and be like, that's sad, and then go on and be
Yep.
not cold, just like, I don't know you,
Yeah.
so that sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But every time, like, I've gotten a chance to talk to you all, it's been so overwhelmingly good and makes just it cheesily, it helps me feel better, and it makes me feel good knowing that our listeners, everybody else, gets a chance to, promote themselves and show who they are really, and just amazing outpour of compassion. And I really honestly thank you for all of that, because we need all of the bits and pieces of compassion possible that we can get, especially during these times that are, trying to
Couldn't
happen.
agree more. Yeah, couldn't agree more. thanks for all the space that you all provide. I mean, truly, I mean, right back at you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to backtrack a little. You had mentioned to me in one of the texts that Pride Month is a really popular month for you. We just came out of Pride Month. Do you get a lot of people coming to you with their businesses, or is it events?
Yeah, yeah, we had a spike in all of our it all. The interviews I was on, I also do speaking engagements with like larger Pride ERGs, employee resource groups. So spoke to some like massive corporate companies, and it was way less in speaking engagements this year than last year. Unfortunately, I had booked several more last year. So unfortunately, I know organizations definitely cut their budget. So I don't want to make it seem like it was all rainbows for me. It was a harder year. And the events, I threw 100 queer owned businesses came together here in Portland for like a 4 hour mini conference, let's call it. We had a panel. I brought folks together, so I was putting that on.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it just brings a lot more voices and people to our platform, which is great. I wish it was every month. But yeah,
I think Pride
we
should
have
be
a
every month for everybody.
I mean, that's what I say. Happy Pride 365 days a
Yeah.
year. Hell, I don't give a fuck. I'll say
Why not?
that.
Exactly. I don't think that our history and our future should be tied to just 1 month a year.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
I agree.
so important that we understand where we're all coming from so that we can all come together and, make this a better place that we want to see. And
Yep.
so that our future family members or friends or just future people, period, can have a much better time coming out, a much better time being black or whatever it is that they,
Themselves.
being themselves. And so that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying let's go and grab a guitar and sing Kumbaya because I hate that song, but it's something like that.
I mean,
Community.
let's just build a world that we want to live in.
Yes.
Yeah, community.
And
Yeah.
everywhere is queer, and what we're doing, that's all a good part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dare I say it, we'll lead the charge. Because,
Yeah.
pinky in the brain. Come on.
Yes.
Take over the world.
Yes.
Let's fucking go.
All right. Did you want to let people know where to find you?
Yeah.
And
Tell us
Yes.
more about
Yeah.
your app.
Yeah. You can find us at Everywhere is Queer on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Our app is free on iOS and Android, available globally, called Everywhere is Queer. Again, on iOS and Android. Visit www.everywhereisqueer.com to check out more about us, but also join our newsletter. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we highlight 10 queer-owned businesses from our platform. It's a great way to just learn more about organizations on our platform. That's our only things that we send out. We sometimes do more intimate deep dives with like one organization. So those go out on Wednesdays every here and there. Yeah, you'll find us to search Everywhere is Queer.
Awesome. I like the fact that you have those spotlights and those newsletters too, because that makes a huge, outreach too. Because sometimes it's easier to share that than say a reel or, or if you have older family members that are like, "What's social media?"
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, we have over 100,000 email subscribers, so a highly engaged audience. It's super exciting. Yeah.
and the map is global, right? It's not just America.
Yep, the map is completely global. Yeah.
How has that been with the overseas businesses and communication? Have you had any issues? Has it all been very well received?
We're a private company, and so it's not like we're like federally funded or like we control everything ourselves. So no, we've had no issues with that. We're receiving applications globally.
That's great.
I love
Yeah.
that. And please keep sending them, the applications because we need to know where everywhere we can be safe and just have
Yeah.
fun.
And that's yes. And that's on the everywhere. I'm one person screaming from the rooftop. So thank you to you all and the listeners who are going to go help promote Everywhere is Queer in your own communities. I need your help. I am
Yeah.
not shy to say
Yep.
that.
No.
And you're helping so many people.
Yes.
So yeah, it's the least anyone can do for you.
Definitely.
Thank you. Please blast it everywhere.
We will happily blast it everywhere. I
Thank you.
want you to be like so huge that you don't know what
you.
to do with yourself, because you are doing
Thank you.
such a wonderful service.
Thank you.
And I greatly, no, I thank you, because
Thank you.
you're
And
just,
what he said is coming is awesome.
yeah, that's like amazing. And just, even if you're not necessarily a part of that community, sometimes just knowing that the type of doctor you're seeing is okay with that can make a huge difference. Because if you
Huge.
know that they're open to that, they're more open to, helping us get the diagnoses that we might need.
100%.
Being
Yeah.
a disabled and LGBTQ podcast, we've heard so many issues with the medical field, and that would make a huge difference knowing who's accepting.
Yes.
Because that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And the directory we're partnering with, it's called OutCare. It already exists today. You can head to their website right now and find queer affirming healthcare providers. We're going to make it accessible in app to connect the EIQ app users with it as well. So that's just
Cool.
another space for folks to access
Yeah, that would be
queer
great.
I
affirming
love that.
healthcare. Yeah. So shout out to OutCare.
Yes.
They're the ones building that directory. They're amazing.
That is,
yeah.
and I appreciate that too, because like I said, just every aspect of our lives is so, like, if you don't have the right person to talk to or the right people to be around, it can be so isolating and so terrifying. But finding those people and being able to say, I can have a safe birthday party, or I can
Yes.
go and have a great visit, get my healthcare taken care of finally, with somebody who isn't going to be like, ew, gross, what are you talking about?
Right.
Yep.
And that just, it feels awesome. And I'm going to like gush the hell out of you, because like
Thank
you're
you.
just, wait a minute.
That
Did I
doesn't
say
sound
that?
right.
No, that didn't sound right.
I get what you mean, and I'm so grateful. Sounds like you might be murdering me, but that is going to be in the book.
I don't mean
So-
that as,
Are you sure you still
murder.
want to move to New York?
I always say something stupid, but I mean it from the
I
bottom
do
of
too,
my
though.
heart,
I do too.
that I want to promote the hell out of you, and
Thank you.
get you out
you.
there, because
Thank you.
you're just an amazing person that deserves everything that's coming your way.
And thank
Yeah,
you
I
again so
appreciate
much
it.
Yes, thank
for
you.
joining us. This has been
Yeah.
great.
Thanks for having me.
If you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Please leave a rating for us wherever you listen. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Othering Podcast is brought to you by Loudcore Productions in conjunction with your support. Your host, Mike and Dory Morris, graphics by Joshua Morris, and join us next week on the Othering Podcast.